Welcome back. In yesterday's devotion, we saw that Yahweh visited Abraham by the terebinth trees of Mamre. He didn't appear to Abraham in a vision, but in the flesh. Yahweh came to Abraham in the appearance of a man. At the end of Yahweh's proclamation to Abraham and Sarah that she would give birth within the next year, we're told that Yahweh got up to go. However, Yahweh's initiation of the fellowship with Abraham wasn't concluded. We continue the account by beginning where we left off yesterday, Genesis chapter 18, verse 16. Then the men rose from there and looked towards Sodom, and Abraham went with them to send them on the way. And Yahweh said, Shall I hide from Abraham what I am doing, since Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him? For I have known him, in order that he may command his children and his household after him, that they may keep the way of Yahweh, to do righteousness and justice, that Yahweh may bring to Abraham what he has spoken to him. And Yahweh said, Because the outcry against Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grave, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the outcry against it that has come to me. And if not, I will know. Then the men turned away from there and went towards Sodom. But Abraham still stood before Yahweh. And Abraham came near and said, Would you also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Suppose there were 50 righteous within the city. Would you also destroy the place and not spare it for the 50 righteous that were in it? Far be it from you to do such a thing as this, to slay the righteous with the wicked, so that the righteous should be as the wicked. Far be it from you. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? So Yahweh said, If I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the places, for their sakes. Then Abraham answered and said, Indeed now, I, who am but dust and ashes, have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose there were 5 less than the 50 righteous. Would you destroy all the city for the lack of 5? So he, that is Yahweh, said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it. And he spoke to Yahweh yet again and said, Suppose there should be 40 found there. So Yahweh said, I will not do it for the sake of 40. Then Abraham said, Let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Suppose 30 be found there. So Yahweh said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And Abraham said, Indeed, now I have taken it upon myself to speak to the Lord. Suppose 20 should be found there. So Yahweh said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 20. Then Abraham said, Let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak but once more. Suppose 10 should be found there. And Yahweh said, I will not destroy it for the sake of 10. So Yahweh went his way as soon as he had finished speaking with Abraham, and Abraham returned to his place. Again, as we mentioned yesterday, you read this literally, and there is no way that you can say anything but Yahweh is there in the flesh, having a conversation with Abraham. Then to consider the intimacy of this relationship where Abraham is haggling with Yahweh. But haggling for a greater purpose, if you would. His nephew Lot had moved away from him and had gone down and settled in Sodom. And Abraham, I believe, knows exactly how many are under the, if you would, umbrella or influence of Lot in that city. I'd like to read a couple verses here from chapter 19, verses 12 to 14, to highlight this. These 2 men, who we know to be angels, You can read the rest of the account in chapter 19. Said to Lot, after they blinded the perverse men of Sodom, then the men, who were the angels, said to Lot, have you anyone else here, son-in-law, your sons, your daughters, and whomever you have in the city? Take them out of this place, for we will destroy this place, because the outcry against them has grown great before the face of Yahweh, and Yahweh has sent us to destroy it. So Lot went out and spoke to his sons-in-laws, who had married his daughters, and said, get up, get out of this place, for Yahweh will destroy this city. But to his sons-in-laws, he seemed to be joking. Yahweh had sent these two angels to go down to Sodom to determine whether indeed it was as bad as the outcry against it. And I believe to verify, to validate whether there are the 10 that he has promised Abraham, that if there were 10, he wouldn't destroy it. And so note the words of the angels to Lot. Have you anyone else here? Son-in-law, sons, daughters. Then we read that Lot goes out into the city and he speaks to his sons, plural, in-laws, who were married to his daughters. Now we know that Lot had 2 daughters who were there with him while the angels were there. So these aren't those daughters who were there. So we have Lot, his wife, the 2 daughters who were with him, sons that we understand from the words of the angel, so minimum, sons being plural, is 2. Sons-in-laws that we read that Lot went to talk to, and who were married to his daughters, plural, gives us 10, not counting whether there were even grandchildren in the city. Lot had the potential to influence those who were in his household, if you would, in his family group, his extended family group, and there were 10. But sadly, his sons-in-laws were so influenced by the world, being from Sodom, that they just thought Lot was joking. Just like the neighbors of Noah probably thought he was joking when he told them that judgment was coming and that they needed to come onto the ark. How seriously do we take the Word of God? How intimately do we accept the fellowship with Yahweh that He has offered to us? How concerned am I for the eternal existence, heaven, hell, of those who are my kin, of those who are my neighbors? Do I plead to Yahweh on their behalf? Take time today to pray. If there is sin to be confessed, please do. But to consider then as well how seriously you take the privilege of this relationship that God has given to you, and how seriously you take His word that He has given to you. Do you just brush this all off as allegory, or do you accept His word as true? Judgment is coming. Peter tells us that it will begin in the house of God. Pray. Desire to have a pure relationship, and then have a blessed day.